pretty sad. I'm a little confused. Do you see me as a victim or as a bad person? Because you're accusing my dad of. Oh no, I think you're fucking mental. I think you've grown up and you've been so fucked up by your dad that as an adult you don't know the difference.
What difference? The difference between getting raped in a school bus in front of everyone and not getting raped in a school bus in front of everyone? The difference between getting abused by Matthew Vickers or not getting abused by Matthew Vickers? The difference between getting fingered by your boyfriend when you're 15 years old and he's 19 and not getting fingered by your boyfriend when you're 15 years old and he's 19? The difference between being forced to do child porn and not being forced to do child porn? Those types of differences.
You honestly don't know the difference. And I don't think you've ever had a childhood where your dad doesn't sexualize you in that manner, because when you got tits, it was okay for him to just talk about you jiggling your tits all the time and stuff.
Matthew Vickers took his daughter Faith Vickers out on a date when she was only a 13-year-old pubescent child to meet and have a romantic dinner with a 17-year-old teenager with the hopes they would become a couple. How is that not sexualizing your child and encouraging them very early to become sexually mature and engage in sexual activity?
I don't think you recognize that. There's nothing wrong with, there's nothing you can do about it. It's your upbringing. You're not going to know the difference. I've obviously grown up with my mum and my dad and stuff like that. That sort of stuff wasn't happening, you know. I lived in a house where even swearing in front of my parents wasn't allowed. But you know what? You obviously live in one of those cool households where your dad's just like, hey.
One of those cool households where you can smoke weed as a teenager around your youngest siblings and your parents let you and pretty much even encourage it? Like the Vickers household? That kind of cool parents, Cog?
You've been getting laid today? I hope you've been getting railed. Any guy's been deep inside that pussy? Yeah, that's not how fathers talk to their children.
Except when it's Matthew Vickers asking his 15-year-old daughter Faith how her date with her 19-year-old boyfriend Isaiah Valley went and if she got fingered while riding the Ferris wheel at Disneyland.
That's just not how fathers talk to their daughters. That's just, or children in general. It's just not how they do it. Am I a victim in this? No, you're not a victim in this. You're not. You're a fucking retard. You're an adult retard who never learned the difference. And everyone around you is going, that's not normal what your dad is doing. And you're like, it is normal, because it is normality to you. So no one can get angry at you. You're an adult. You can make your own decisions. People on the internet, you want to promote your dad on the internet? You want to promote yourself on the internet? Everyone thinks that you and your dad have an incestual relationship because of how your dad sexualizes you and how you literally defend it.
Cog, you and Mr. Vickers sexualize Faith Vickers every time you mention and bring up the revenge sex porn, every time you have her on to discuss it. When you ask her how long Ethan Ralph's penis is, you have turned Faith Vickers' sexual exploitation into a money-making, attention-seeking grift. Both you and Mr. Vickers have turned it into a career.
He's telling you to... Oh, wait, my wife just walked in asking what she's missed. This Grace Thorp in chat, whose dad has asked her to, shake her arse and tits and stuff. Oh, she's on Ralph's show here, yeah. She's actually on Ralph's show to promote... Yeah, right, she's on Ralph's show to promote her dad as well. In her schoolgirl uniform. You're 20 years old, right? Why are you in your Catholic girl school uniform? I guess it's just to promote the correct... It's just to promote the correct people to your dad's channel, right? It's fucking hilarious, this, I know. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. Now, this guy's a wife, I do. I know. I know, I'll be fine. I'll be alright. I'll be good, don't worry about it, I know. Been a good day. Gauges the little earrings, the little earrings he has. Okay. No, I'm okay. Don't worry about that. Yeah, I'm fine. Don't worry about it. Yeah, my wife just being overly caring for me because I know right now. She's lovely. You're just making stuff up now. It's kind of sad, says Grace Thorpe. What do you mean, making stuff up? I've just shown all the clips of this. I've literally gone through this before you arrived. This is all on a post on a Destiny subreddit that links to all of these streams of you breaking down over your mum, breaking down, yelling at your mum on screen, and then as soon as your dad cries over you saying sexual over him saying trying to sing textual healing, he gets really salty with you. And then it goes down this whole road of you crying by the end of the stream about how you feel like you're going to become your mother. Right? How can you possibly describe this as me promoting my dad's channel when I didn't promote his channel? You literally mentioned him as soon as you came in the show on Ralph Singh. We went through this. You've already mentioned your dad several times as well within this conversation already. See, the thing is that I point these things out when they happen in the show, and I know my chat is paying attention. It's one of those things that they're good at. Oh, Brad Chat's asking what are all the bracelets, they're wedding bangles. That's what you wear when you get married for a long period of time, longer than it takes for Ralph to obviously clean his own laundry. Laylo saying, let her defend her retarded father on air for content. Again, discord.me/Cognificent, I've said this. Ralph asked about my dad and I mentioned him, and now you're saying it's this... No, you said you'd come on the show to promote that you said that your dad wanted to get big in the commentary community.
Cog, you have no issues with this. Mr. Vickers literally wanted to become an online personality and use his daughter to accomplish that goal.
And therefore, that's why you'd gone around. It was your dad that you brought up as the reason for why you were there. How do I know that your dad wants to get big in the commentary community unless you fucking said it on Ralph's show? You literally said this. You seriously have viewers? There's 128 people there, so I guess so. You're such a whiny child. I mean, I'm not the one who's been abused by my father. But I'm trying to be as honest as I can. She can get upset as much as she wants. I know what I've just seen. And she's getting upset because I'm not the first person to say this to her on the internet. But instead of actually saying, my dad didn't sexualize me, she's decided the Lord sexualized her when she was young, and therefore her dad's totally fine to tell her to go and shake her tits and her ass on camera for clout. We've just seen these clips. Should we go back through the clips? Do I have to go back through the clips? You're not the first person, you're like the millionth person. It's a complete unoriginal take and frankly boring. Grace, I'm not the only person who's going to go down this road, and if you can you're just going to have to cope with it, then I can't really... Why would I call in boring as hell, says Grace. I know, because I'm not promoting Daddy's channel. I know. I think your mum was a piece of shit as well, but it doesn't excuse your father. And that's the thing. I agree with you on what you said about your mother, because I really do. Her mum was a piece of shit who fucking left home too. But that doesn't change the fact that your dad clearly has no issue with sexualizing you for clout on the internet.
Oh, you mean like using your daughter's sex tape scandal to become an online personality and start an online career like Matthew Vickers?
And the first fucking thing you said when you got on Rao's show was that your dad wanted to be big in the commentary community.
Oh, fuck. There you go. Just like Faith Vickers said about her own father, Matthew Vickers.
And then you're on Rao's commentary show. I can only assume that, that those two are linked by what you said on the show. Cog is winning this through clout attrition, says Lalo. Clout? I've never given a fuck about clout. I don't care if anyone watches the show. I don't care if I grow in numbers. It's never been about that. I have a core audience, and I have done for a long time because of how I cover things, honestly. No, she doesn't. She went on Rao's show to act like a little whore in a school uniform, didn't you? So that you could get some clout on the internet.
Bro, isn't that exactly what Faith Vickers also did, though? Desperate for clout and attention, she ran away from home and went over to meet up with Ethan Ralph and let him fuck her without a condom like the disgusting degenerate whore that she is.
I don't know, but she clearly has a weird oral fixation. Dude, as you can see from the thumbnail on this show, she's such a window licker, she ends up chewing the fucking microphone. Get a fucking stand for your microphone. It's not a dildo, it's not a penis. But I guess that's the sort of audience you're trying to bring in. The degenerates, right? In your school uniform as a 20-year-old. Fucking weird. Grace, you can come clean at my house, says Tyler Powell. Exactly. You might get paid more than your father. Don't forget that your dad did say on air, and I've just watched a clip of him saying that you are literally replaceable with a maid. But I guess if you're promoting his career online, right? I just bite on the edge of the mic and you call me a hole lol. Interesting. No, the entire thing you were acting like a fucking hoe. You called Ralph Daddy.
She called Ralph Daddy? Yeah, how much are you willing to bet Faith Vickers called Ethan Ralph Daddy too? It's not like Ethan Ralph has any physical or temperamental behavioral similarities with Faith Vickers' own father Matthew or anything.
For crying out loud. You're trying to come across as a hoe. You're wearing a school uniform as a 20-year-old. Who are you trying to fool here? Like the thing is, I'm just being real about the situation, and you're acting like this never happened. Like you never did the show last night, and we're not watching you be a hoe right now.
Cog, did you watch the Faith Vickers Ethan Ralph porn video? Was Faith Vickers not exhibiting whore behavior in that sex tape, Cog? What's worse? Wearing a school uniform when you're 20 years old on a stream, or filming yourself having sex with no condom with Ethan Ralph when you're 18 while your parents are trying to look for you and find you because you've ran away from home? Who's the real whore, Cog?
I know. Fucking hell. Dressed up in your school uniform as a 20-year-old, like a literal hooker, I'm seeing in the chat, right? Fucking silly stuff. She's a total nutcase, bro. I know I've seen a breakdown already 3 times today, but that's obviously not just in my chat, that's also on video, because there are clips of you breaking down over becoming like your mother.
Nutcase, Cog. Faith Vickers literally had to be sent to a mental hospital because she went off the reservation batshit insane. You get real, nigger.
Gosh. I'm only going through what I've been through today, and you've turned up after that. So if you want to get salty like we've not just watched those clips, that's one thing. But I'm not going off the fact, I'm not going off I've not seen these things. I'm not just saying these things to regurgitate what's on the internet. I'm going off clips and your words and your father's words. That's what I go off every time I make a decision on something like this. Otherwise, I'll say I don't know if it's real or not. But it's either your dad was just pretending to sexualize you, or he was sexualizing you. Like, I know what I saw it as. I know what chat sees as. Dude, what are you being so moralistic about, says Grace. You're in my chat. You're asking me what I thought about, like, the interview and what I think about it. This is Just my opinion. You don't have to watch, bro. People talk about me on the internet. I don't give a shit to tune in. I've got shit to do.
Bro, Cog, you know full well you keep a close eye on everything that goes on around the sector. You obsess over what people think of you and see you as, their perception and opinion of you. How dishonest or disconnected from reality are you, bro?
Do you know what I mean? What's the concern about? I think your dad's really fucking creepy, and I think you can't even call it out. I think it's hilarious how you can call out your mother all day, but your dad is fucking gold.
Well, I think it's hilarious you can call out Grace Thorp for being a crazy whore all day, but when it comes to Faith Vickers for being the exact same thing, it's just gold, buddy.
Like, it's just, dads can't do anything wrong. Your mum, the worst thing imaginable. Like, most people are going to see that, and then you're trying to become big in the commentary community. You do realize they're going to look at your past. You do realize they're going to go look at that stuff and talk about it and comment on you based on that, right? That's just how it is. She's working you so hard, Cog. Just let the chick seethe. I mean, it's in the chat. People can see it. Like, you seem close to tears, to be honest. I know I'm literally about to cry right now. It's I'm getting the shakes. Just getting the shakes. Oh, I don't know what. Don't know how I'm going to cope over here. That might get the tissues. Oh, here you go. Have fun. Just got to get a tissue right now because obviously I'm just welling up. Oh, it's so much. You know what? My dad totally didn't sexualize me by telling me to shake my ass and tits on a show.
Yeah, Vickers totally didn't sexualize his daughter by sending her on a date when she was 14 with an 18-year-old, when he took them both to Disneyland and Faith Vickers was fingered while riding the Ferris wheel, and by starting an online commentary career by using her revenge porn video scandal as the launching pad. No, sir. No exploitative sexualization going on here, sir. Nothing to see here, sir. Have a good day, sir.
No. That'd be inappropriate, right? I mean, who are you trying to appeal to? Catholicism? Catholic audience?
Bro, aren't the Vickers pretending to be Christian conservatives as part of their online LARP? And they are the farthest from being that as can possibly be. Just shut the fuck up, Cog, you idiot sped.
The incel community? Fuck. It's really sad. It is, yes, Grace. My dad told me to shake my tits on camera, and I thought it was just really wrong of him to do, and shake my ass. It was all while I was in a white corset, you know. Gosh. And if only my mum hadn't left me when I was younger, maybe I wouldn't have been the one abused. But it's not something that I can quite deal with all the time. In fact, it's something that I cope with on a daily basis, to the point where I turn up to people's audiences when they're talking about me and then cry over the clips they've seen of me crying on the internet. Yeah. Makes me well up sometimes. Makes me wonder what's real in the world. Why do people picture me as a whore? I'm only, 20 years old and dressing in a school uniform. Oh, gosh. It's clearly everyone else. It's clearly everyone. Couldn't be me. It couldn't be me. Jesus time with hookers, we could have lunch together, says Grace Thorp. Hey, go and be a hooker then. I mean, your dad'd enjoy
Rip
that.
Father, have you ever been held against your will due to mental health issues?
No, look, you can answer that in a second. Finish your thought there. I know the TTS can be distracting, but they like yelling and shit while you're here, so I left it on. But go.
And I know Grace is now in the chat. She's fallen back into the default position of just defensive. Don't worry, I know how to read it, bro. You're just in a defensive position. And it's fine, you're going to be defensive. I'm talking about your dad, and you don't want anyone to say anything bad about your dad, because you really have got a fucking weird psychological thing going on there. It's called daddy issues.
Yo, daddy issues, Cog? You mean Faith Vickers issues, right?
But it's not in the way that you think. It's not that daddy left home and, you've always been looking for that hole to fill. No. It's that you don't want to be mum because you might lose dad, because you lost mum. And your dad told you it's because of how she was, so you don't want to become her. Although you cry, obviously, about becoming her.
What the fuck are you talking about, bro? Yeah, that made no sense. Are you a psychologist now, Cog? You get real, nigger.